welcome to At the Table with Chef Jay, the podcast where we believe that every meal has a story and every story has a seat at the table. I'm your host, Chef Jay, and today we embark on a culinary journey through the heartwarming realm of cherished memories and delectable dishes. In each episode, we dive into the nostalgic world of our guests' favorite childhood foods, from the confident aroma of Grandma's kitchen to the sizzle of a beloved family recipe. We're here to unravel the tales behind the tastes that linger in our hearts. Today's guest is Janisha and Anwar Staggers, which I have enjoyed having on before. And so let's talk a little bit about your background, Anwar and Janisha.
Yes.
Tell about you as a professional.
All right, so professionally, I am a medical office supervisor at a local orthopedic office. There I help patients and ensure that our front desk is running smoothly. I deal a lot with insurance, workers' compensation, motor vehicle accidents, a lot of legal stuff. And my main thing is to make sure that our office is doing the right thing for the patients, but also for the office itself, that we don't break any laws. I always like to tell people I'm the mean guy who tells you can't do something. So, but I enjoy working there. I love taking care of our patients, and I also enjoy taking care of my staff and making sure that they enjoy their job and come to work each day.
Yeah, and he's good at his job because I met Anwar at a creative group meeting in our space, but I was also a client at the orthopedic.
Orthopedic. Yeah.
So I had my knee surgery over there.
Yep.
So if you hopping around, don't put it off. Get
Please
that
don't.
surgery.
Yes, please don't. We can give you a good recommendation if you
Yeah,
need it.
and their offers was amazing, and I thank you guys for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Janisha, tell us about your profession.
Yeah, and I'm Janisha. I'm a research associate at the Center for Applied Research and Evaluation at the University of South Carolina.
Go Gamecocks.
Oh, go Gamecocks. That's all that mouthful to say that I currently facilitate a statewide strategy to address social determinants of health. Long story short, we want to make sure that all of our people have everything they need to live a healthy life, whether that's food, housing, transportation, education, income, and whatever else.
Yeah.
And I love what she do because all of that is so important for us as people to live a comfortable. I always tell people on my apron, just like I said, we deserve to live well. So always keep that in mind. You deserve to live well. So what is the dish that you prepared, and what's the story behind it today?
Right, so this is one of my favorite dishes. We're making homemade cinnamon rolls today with a mascarpone and cream cheese icing. Now, the story behind this is, all right, when we first moved up here to the metro, to the Met, and we were kids, my dad, he was actually working at a mall, at Columbiana, I believe it was. And when he would come home some days, he would bring us cinnamon rolls from Cinnabon. And I'd never had them before. And so I remember eating those cinnamon rolls, and I was like, all right, this is the best thing I ever had in my life. And so from that day, I became addicted to cinnamon rolls in general. I just love cinnamon rolls because you get the best out of everything with the sweet. You get your icing, you get your spice, you get the softness of the roll. And then the best part is the center of the cinnamon roll. It's like
You looking forward to that part?
it's the best part of a cinnamon roll. So the one thing I know always bothered her about is baking. And recently my father taught us how to make bread properly. And in doing so, he made us feel more confident with baking in our own home. And so we've been trying to bake other things, and we have to go back and learn how to make this cake. So we'll be back to see what
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
cake. Yeah, we'll show you.
I love
But one of the things we're like, hey, we know how to make bread now. So she was like, man, we're making rolls. And so she's been really good at making rolls, and not just like normal cinnamon rolls, but like Swiss roll things. And she teases me because I like to eat things, but I don't want to cook it. So she was like, man, you like these? This is not that hard. You can do it. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make some cinnamon rolls, and I want people to eat them because I love them so much. I want people to see why I love cinnamon rolls, because I think it's just one of the best desserts. It goes good with coffee, milk, and I'm weird. I'll have sweet things with water.
I love that. Well, I tell you one thing, you and Janisha are at heart because my husband loves cinnamon rolls, and so my grandson loves cinnamon rolls.
There we go.
So when he caught the flu, we dropped him off some cinnamon rolls.
Oh, and it makes you feel good. It's
Every
really
bit
good
better.
food. Yeah.
And you can make them all by yourself.
Yes, I could be all by myself now. Yeah, like very well, I think. I did a good job.
Good. Come on, okay. Well, this shows how we're going to talk about ingredients that you're going to put in it.
All right. So I will tell you what I did is a modified. It's a modified recipe. I took the actual roll recipe from one location, and then I took the actual icing recipe from another location. My dad was telling me like one of the best things to do when you're learning how to bake is to take a recipe that is standard and try it first. After that, then you can have fun with it.
Right.
So now I might start having fun with it because I feel comfortable with this recipe.
Right.
So you might see me start making cranberry orange cinnamon rolls or cinnamon raisin rolls.
I got one for you.
What's that?
Cinnamon rolls with an apple filling and a lemon glaze.
Oh, look at it. All right, see? Look, I'm already gaining weight from being married. Y'all about to mess me up, man.
You know the pumpkin spice rolls are up next.
See the pumpkin spice rolls. No, seriously,
All
that's
kind
her
of rolls.
big thing.
And then
She
you make them
loves it.
savory too.
Yes.
You know?
That's another thing. If I start making savory rolls, then I might not eat anything. That may be the only thing. I'm eating some rolls today. So the cool thing is this dough recipe. It's just an overnight cinnamon roll dough recipe. It's very simple. It's going to contain a cup of whole milk warmed to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's for this little guy here.
Okay.
For this yeast. This is going to help the yeast bloom. You're going to have 2/3 cups of granulated sugar. Part of that is to feed the yeast, and the other part is actually to go into the actual dough itself. You're going to have 1 1/2 tablespoons of, well, that is the active dry yeast. So it's actually 2 packs. So I bought the 1 pack just so you can see that pack. There's going to be 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Of course, that's going to be softened. It's going to be split into 4 different cubes. That's going to go into the mixture. 2 large eggs. Everything's at room temperature. A teaspoon, half teaspoon of salt, and then 4 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour or bread flour. Now that's going to be up to your decision on what you want to use. We use all-purpose flour in this one. The bread flour is excellent too. Sometimes people will mix the two. Sometimes bread flour can be expensive. So if you're looking, and I like how he was talking about cost before, the cost of food, if you don't want to spend that much money, it's not necessary, because the cool thing about this is the technique. If you do the technique right, your dough's going to come out nice and soft and be nice and fluffy anyway. Also, you have for this 2 teaspoons of canola or vegetable oil. That is for the bowl. When I first read, I said, I know they ain't got no oil in this. It's for the bowl. So when you get to this part that you're going to see, it's going to make sense. So this is the full overnight version of the dough. The ones that I made for us to taste actually is going to be, that was a 4.5 hour dough process. So this had a chance to rest overnight for a full 24 hours. It was taken out. It's going to smell great.
I can smell it all over here.
It smells like yeast. It smells good. It smells good. It smells good. All right, so this dough has had a chance to mature. So when the time, it's proof. It's proof. I call it maturing. It has proof. So it proofed actually for 2 hours in a warm area. After that 2 hours, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to then take it, roll it out, put stuff back on it, make it all look pretty, which we're going to do. I'm going to show you. Roll it up, cut them, and then put them away again for an hour. That's what happened to those. This one got the full treatment. So I think this is actually going to be better. So we have that there. Also, this is my little saving flour. We're going to use this when we roll it out. So I'm going to have this to the side. Here I have brown sugar. So this is going to be for the filling. This is going to be, I believe it is 3/4 cups of packed brown sugar. We also have here our cinnamon, our ground cinnamon. This ground cinnamon, I believe, is some of the good stuff too.
That's good.
This is the good stuff. Yes. The better the cinnamon is, or the better your spices is, the better the flavor will be. I tell people this is a real thing. The quality does matter. But you're looking at here about 2 to 3 tablespoons. You can go a little heavier if you like cinnamon a lot and pack that flavor in.
So do you like medium amount of cinnamon, a little bit, or a lot of cinnamon?
I like a lot of cinnamon.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to taste it. I want to taste it.
Okay.
This butter specifically is for the actual mix that we're going to use to put in the filling. So this is going to be softened. So that's separate from everything. And then over here, these are all the ingredients that you're going to use, or that I'm going to use today to make our actual icing. And that's what's in that icing. And what we're looking at is vanilla. We have some Mexican vanilla blend here right now. We have our Philadelphia original cream cheese. You can use any type of cream cheese that you want. I have mascarpone. This mascarpone it makes it good because
that's interesting. I like that.
What it does is, instead of it just being sweet and creamy, it gives it a little bit of a sour note, which is good for the balance of the sweet, the season or the spice that you're gonna have in there, and then your sugary part. So it doesn't feel like it's overwhelmingly sweet. This is one of Nisha's favorite things.
Okay.
I love that mascarpone.
I do love mascarpone.
Yes, so I can't get angry at it because it's amazing. It tastes good. So we use it in a lot of our icings because it makes sense, or fillings. And then this is just plain old powdered sugar. And this is a cup and 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. It went ahead and measured it off, packed it in here so you can see it's going to be nice and easy to use when that time comes.
Okay.
And then kosher salt. A pinch of this kosher salt goes inside of the icing.
Pinch.
A pinch.
A pinch. Big pinch.
A big pinch. It goes in there. And that's going to help balance out flavor as well.
Right.
So very simple to deal with. This is the most time-consuming part, is making this dough. So basically, you're going to get your yeast, that warm milk, pour it into a mixing bowl. Stir it up with a little bit of that sugar. It's 2 tablespoons of the sugar that you do, the 2/3 that you measure. You're going to let that bloom over 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you take your little towel off of it. It's going to have this nice little foamy effect going.
Okay.
You're going to go ahead and start mixing in your butter that you had. It would be 4 these little cubes. For a 1/2 stick of butter will go in there along with your eggs. And you're going to blend those, let those work themselves in. Once you work the eggs in, the butter's still going to be sitting in there looking crazy. And it looks like it's nasty and it's not working. But that's perfect. That's what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
After you do that, you're going to take a cup of flour at a time and start working it into the mix. And while you're doing that, this is why I have this little thing here.
Okay.
You're just going to take the bowl and scrape the bowl down as it's working so that it can make a dough ball. And if you do it right, like was with this one, we did it perfectly with the little dough hook, it will stay in the bowl and it'll do its little thing, and you're going to let it work for about 5 minutes of just kneading. Once that kneading is done, you're going to take it out, put it in a bowl that has been oiled, and then cover it. I covered mine with this. You can cover it with cloth or aluminum foil, does not matter. And then put it somewhere warm, and then you're going to leave it for 2 minutes. The cool thing is 2 hours, not 2 minutes. Don't do that, y'all. It won't work. 2 whole hours.
Okay.
This was cool because this got to go in the refrigerator. Relax. Entire night.
Good. That's perfect.
Yeah, so this is perfect though. So this had a chance to do the full overnight thing.
Okay.
And then after that, you're going to take it out and you're going to do the fun stuff that we're about to do now.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, so we're going to start over here. And I think this is the most important part. This, yeah, it's soft. That's what I want. All right, so we're going to get our little bowls ready because these bowls are going to do different things.
I love it. I love how you guys have everything together and organized together.
Right.
I love it.
I got to. I want to be quick. I don't want to hold y'all all night.
Oh, you
I'm
good.
slow.
You're good.
I'm real slow. I move very slowly.
We're so excited about Sanders. You was good.
So watch this. So we're going to put this sugar in here. We're going to put the cinnamon in here.
And if you really want to set it off, put a little bit of clove in there.
Yeah, this is a secret. You ready? Y'all get special stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we like them secrets.
There's clove in there.
Oh my God, good.
Yeah, so this is like, I tell people, Nisha and I, we always talk about this. People forget that when you bake, spices are used. You can use spices. And people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to spice your baking stuff. So when you forget to do that, you're just eating sugar. And the sugar by itself is cool because I like sugar. But when you spice your sugar, it's even better. So we're going to go ahead and take this and break this off in here. We're going to make this fun. Well, actually, watch this. No, not yet. Watch this. I'm moving too quick. So I'm going to mix this up.
Okay.
We're going to wait on my butter because I'm going to get my hands dirty. This is what I'm waiting for, the fun stuff. All right, so this is mixed.
Those blend very nice together too.
Right? Watch this. The easiest thing. So I tell people, like, you don't have to be perfect. You can get this done. This guy now, we're going to have fun. We're going to open that up. So this is my flour, and I tell people it's always nice when you have a large wooden table when you're baking. So what we're going to do is we're going to get messy. This is what I was doing last night. I was getting messy. I messed up the whole table.
This is very nice. I love this.
I'm going to move you out of the way and get you over here. All right, because what we got to do is we're going to roll this out. So a nice, large rectangle. Okay. Since I have this here, take this off.
This is perfect dough, guys. Look at that.
All right, so now I got this nice dough, right? Oh, it's so easy to work. And they'll tell you to punch it down. Punch it down, punch it down, punch it down, punch it down. We're going to get it here, flip it, get some dough on each side. And then I have this roller here.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna start to do, I'm gonna start rolling this out.
Don't have fiber in this.
Right? That's what I was, man. I was so surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised. I followed everything properly, but
Yeah, there you go.
that's what I tell people, man. Anybody, you can bake. You just gotta follow those rules. And I remember one of the things my dad tells us is, with cooking is like experimenting. Like you just get to try things, see what's going on. You can freestyle a little bit.
Right.
But baking is like chemistry.
It is chemistry all the way, I'm telling you.
You gotta follow those directions. Like
It will mess up.
it will, and then you'll be sad, and you done spent all this time working on something that you can't get.
That is
So-
beautiful.
We're gonna get this nice and rolled out. And you're supposed to get this, if I'm not mistaken, Nisha, a 1/4 of an inch thick.
That's right.
Watch this. So then I'm gonna take it. This way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some more of this.
Make sure you use enough flour.
Yes. There's never enough flour when you're doing this because you don't want it to stick.
Right.
Because that's not gonna be fun. Because then you won't be able to have anything to eat.
Right.
Okay. And I like this little rolling pin here, this little French pin,
Yes.
because you can really get at it. I like the big ones are cool, right? But when you're trying to get something thin, this is the best way.
Yeah, the first time I saw one, some daddy was bigger and was in Italy.
Yeah.
And she was making pasta.
And you're like, what you doing? It's like a stick, like they were
Yeah.
beating somebody with the stick.
It was perfect.
Right. Right. And this is also a good workout.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, you-
if you missed your workout during the day, make some pasta and make some bread. And you're gonna get a nice workout. So now you see this thinness that we're at, we're almost there. Okay. All right. So now we're where we need to be at. We're about a 1/4 of an inch thick everywhere. Now what I'm gonna do, this is just making it pretty.
Okay.
Okay.
You got that out.
This is the one thing I told you. This is the one thing I'm good at in the kitchen. I could sous chef and put things together, make it look pretty. This extra dough, that's your fun stuff. So that's what you eat, and you don't give to the guests.
Oh,
So I would take that and make little cinnamon rolls with it. So we're gonna have a little sheet, and it doesn't have to be all the way perfect. Let me get it as square as possible. Okay, so now we have our square sheet. And this is what I was doing earlier. I was moving too quick.
Right.
This is where now you get messy. This is
Okay.
the fun, messy part.
Got it.
So we're gonna take this butter, and we're gonna squish it up.
Finger painted like a kindergarten.
This is where you're a child now. Like you don't have to look pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty. And this is the fun part. We're gonna squish it up.
Playing Play-Doh with it.
Yeah, this is why I was like, I can
Like a
just do
child
this.
back at it.
Yeah, it is. This is like, again, like the memories of having fun as a kid. If you ever had a chance to bake with your grandmother,
Mm.
or your aunties, or your father or mother in the kitchen, usually they'll give this type of stuff, this duty to the child, because there's nothing you can do to mess this up. And I was overthinking it last night for no reason, thinking I had to put in person. See, I do all that person stuff, put it on there and smear it, because it's just gonna get messy anyway.
Yeah, that's, I teach kids cooking, and they love creating it, using their own hands and
Yeah,
coming up with their own creation. So I think in the kitchen we just turn back into a child just having fun. You know?
that's it. Even though, like we said earlier, this is like chemistry, right?
Yes.
That you have your little parts where you get to show your own little pizzazz. So we're gonna get this and we're gonna smear this over. And the better you smear it, the better it is.
That's salted or unsalted butter.
This is unsalted butter. Of course, when you're baking, you're gonna add salt and seasoning. So you don't want to have that extra salt in the butter, because then technically you could take it out somewhere else.
Okay.
If you say you don't have
Right.
what you want. Okay. So now we get this all smeared. Okay. And then I'm not done with the fun yet.
Okay.
So then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pick this up. Sprinkle.
This is amazing.
This is so much
Love
fun.
it. It's something that tastes good and look good. I tell you, that's-
Yeah.
that's-
So we're gonna get this over here. Now, if you have your little extra stuff over here, you can save some of this mix.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, you could take some of these and roll them up as well and use those for later. But this is the showstopper, so we're gonna put all the fun stuff.
Because it's nothing worse than getting cinnamon roll and don't have a little bit.
Come on, this is my point. Like, this is what I came for. I came for the cinnamon spice.
That's it. That's exactly right.
And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that we get all the way to the edge so that we can cover the entire thing, because once it starts baking and the butter starts to melt, you're gonna see all this stuff's gonna make sense. All right, and then once you do this, you're looking good. Make sure you get all that in there. For the audience, I always like to tell, we did wash our hands.
That's right.
My hands are clean. I didn't, and then just start coming over here and acting crazy.
That's what I like. I was telling my other guests that I love people that's nice and clean and, work on food. I think that's what it should be.
Yeah. Man, because if you aren't, like, you risk getting your people sick. You don't want to get your people sick to come up to your house to eat. Oh, my fault. Always trying to get excited on this. So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to roll it hamburger way. This does take a little bit of effort and skill, but it's not that hard.
Goodness. That is amazing.
And now we have our log cinnamon roll. Okay. And here's the cool thing.
Okay.
Once you get to this point, people don't realize cinnamon rolls ain't done yet.
That's right.
So now what you have to do is we're gonna go ahead and cut it.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna do the easy math.
That's perfect.
Spice. And what you want is about 1.5 to 2 inches.
Nice.
Each, yeah, we don't want no small rolls. We came here for all the fun. And you don't have to use a knife. If you actually have a bench scraper, bench scraper does wonders. But I do like this knife because the cool thing with a knife is it won't pinch them as much. So now we have all our rolls. They're happy to go. We have a pan over here. What we're going to do is we're going to take our pan. And then normally what I'll do, I'm going to go extra.
Yeah.
You get some butter and
God.
butter the whole pan. The set edges and everything, okay? But we aren't going to do that tonight.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and take these. And then you're going to set them here. Now what's going to happen next is people say they go right in. No, they do not go right into the oven. They're going to sit and proof some more. They're going to rise more while they're in the pan. So we have 4. So I'm going to do this little weird setup. Because technically we want to all like hit each other. Right? Look at it. And then so if I want to, I could take one of those and make another one and put it in there. But what will happen is now these are sitting here. I will go ahead if I do this, I don't waste. We'll go ahead and we'll cover these. Our little plastic wrap, same wrap that was covering them before. And then these are gonna go and sit somewhere.
So then they rise.
And then they rise.
Good.
They get bigger.
Yeah.
So they're gonna wake up and get bigger. After you do all of that, you clean this stuff off.
Okay.
Then they say, what's going on? So you can clean all this stuff away. So I'm gonna move this stuff over to the side.
Okay.
Put this here. Yes, ma'am. And the next process is gonna be making the actual icing.
Okay, let's see that for sure.
And this is the fun stuff.
Okay.
If you have a stand mixer at home, you can make this in 3 minutes. That's all it takes. It don't take much time at all to make this. And the big part is just to make sure that everything is at room temperature because that's going to ensure that you can move through it quickly.
Right. Okay.
So we're going to open all this stuff up. Get you open that up. And while y'all doing that, I'm going to go ahead and measure this out. So
Yeah.
you only need a tablespoon of vanilla. You can use more or less depending on your call, how you feel about it. I like vanilla. Yes.
You said that's a Mexican vanilla?
Yeah, this is
Why
Mexican.
you chose that? For?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this. They be baking. My fault with my bad English.
That's all
They
right.
be baking, and they do such a good job baking. I know that their vanilla is good.
Yes,
And
yes.
so to give you a different flavor than what you'll normally have, we'll use that in some recipes. Sometimes we'll just use normal organic vanilla, but that stuff is tasty.
Yeah.
And so whenever we do, especially you got cinnamon and spice.
Right. And the reason I asked was because when I was in culinary school, we did a dish and we used Mexican cinnamon. That's like
See, you already know it makes a difference. It actually tastes amazing. And so we're going to use 8 ounces of the cream cheese, the whole thing, and 8 ounces of the mascarpone.
Using the mascarpone, I would have never thought to use that together.
Right.
Works so well.
It works so well.
That's
Okay, so we're going to take this. Everything goes in. We're going to get these out of the way. Now, I'm usually really clean when I'm working.
That's how you're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're doing good.
Okay.
You're sharing this amazing recipe. I love.
All right, we're going to put in our vanilla. Yep, we're gonna get a little mixy stir going because the next thing is that powdered sugar. The powdered sugar is what makes it all come together. So we're gonna get this working.
This recipe is amazing. I love it.
And it's not hard. And like I said, and this is just, we chose what we like
That's right.
and we put it together. If you want to come in here and make a different type of icing, it's pretty easy to do just with the type of seasoning that you're adding to it, whatever extract you want to put in there. And the cool thing is nowadays with the types of stores you have, there's so many options. So you can get any type of extracts that you want, whether it be floral or fruit.
That's right.
And you can get
Or rum.
or rum.
Or rum.
Yeah, or rum. You're right. You ain't lying. And then you can actually go ahead and put it in here, and that extract is going to go ahead and flavor this icing that you're going to use.
Since you said rum, I think you mentioned something about rums and raisins.
Oh, yeah.
Soak 'em in rum.
Yeah, and put them in there. And then especially like during the holiday season, etc., it's a good time to have that spice. And so this is going to be the interesting part, is putting this in. So we're going to slowly get this in here. There we go. And so this is the powdered sugar. And this is really a cup and 3/4. Wow, yeah, she's going to get me with this little pinch of salt, kosher salt in there.
That's one of the secrets about baking. They always put that pinch of salt.
Pinch of
balance
salt,
it out.
yeah. So I'm going to get this little thing working.
I think about our parents, like foreparents that made bake and put dishes together, and they never had a mixing.
They did it by hand.
Yes, and I've mixed my cakes lately by hand. That's a lot of work. My shoulders be hurting. And...
Now, Nisha makes me do it.
Strong arms, you know.
I got a strong hand power. I know talking about people working in the restaurant industry.
Right.
I used to be a server. I used to work in a restaurant.
That's right.
And so I tell people all the time, I got these strong hands. They're impervious to heat and stuff like that now. And they're like, how? How did it happen? I grew up. I did not have strong hands always. But Dad used to tease us. We used to have them little weak hands. My brother will tell you, we used to have weak hands. And we had, there was a certain name we used, can't say up here. We had weak hands. And so our hands, I had to get them stronger. And so when I worked in the restaurant, I made it a point. Give me the hottest plate. I'm gonna take it out.
What?
Yeah, because I wanted to get strong hands.
That's your engagement, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They met
At the restaurant.
In Charleston, right?
Yes, in Charleston, matter of fact, yeah. And it's funny because my dad, when we were kids, speaking of my dad, he used to take stuff out of the oven with his hands and no mitts. And so I try to do that now.
And I
And
know
she
it.
pops me.
Every time.
And she gave me the thing. She said, "Here, you better stop. Your hands ain't. You don't got your dad's hands." I said, "I've been working for years to try to get them hands like that. They just make them different down in the country, I guess." So I was like,
I
"Okay."
tell you, I can't wait to meet your dad. It sounds like
Now we can get him in here for real to cook some of his
I would
things.
love to.
All right. So now we're getting this mixed in. The thing is, even if you use a mixing bowl, all of the powdered sugar may not mix, and that's fine. That's fine. It'll work its way in. You may have to take it out. Some of it won't be in there. It's fine. All right, so we're gonna get this down. Now we're looking good.
Yeah, good job coming together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All All right, so you're gonna get that nice and wet the way you want. If you do have a mixer, the cool thing is you can get it nice and airy.
Yeah.
Where it's fluffy. That's what you got over there.
Now, do y'all at home? Do y'all use a mixer or do you use off?
We use stand mixer.
We use stand mixer.
Okay, yeah. I haven't.
We used to not have the stand mixer though, and I'm telling you, I was out here working. I didn't need to do anything else.
Right here, guys. I have grandmother's. You know, I'm very vintage. You can tell I like ancestral, stories from way back in the back.
Yeah.
Her, the mixer, the hand mixer.
Stop.
And I know it's probably 50-some years old. Yeah.
And it be working as
And
little something. It still works.
Yes, that's why I used to.
They used to make it differently back in the day.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, nowadays they make things to break so they can buy new.
Yeah, it's a vintage. I'm telling you, and I love it. I love all that vintage stuff back in the day. That was made us who we are. You know?
Yeah, no, seriously.
That's right.
I think I have it to a good point now, so you can take a look at it. This is how we want it to look.
I can't wait to taste it.
We're looking good to go.
Yeah.
Now, I tell people, man, you gotta taste what you eat, so I'll go in here and get some of this.
Guys,
That's good.
Okay,
That's
so
good. That's working.
We can't wait. We can't wait to have Anwar and Janisha at the table. Welcome back at the table with Janisha and Anwar Staggers. You'll fix these amazing cinnamon rolls. And then we got a little cup of coffee on the side.
Yes, yes.
So Anwar said he likes coffee or either milk, but he said he likes water.
I know.
Okay?
Weird, man. I'm weird.
That's all right. I think it's awesome. Because that way you don't have nothing to mess with the
That's
taste.
the point. Yeah.
It's
It's clean. Clean.
I love it. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm trying these great looking cinnamon rolls out with I could never heard of this icing that has
Mascarpone?
mascarpone
Yes.
in it. Now that sounds amazing. So I'm gonna try this out, okay? It looks good. The dough looks amazing.
That's my point. Yeah, man.
Now, do you
Hard.
cut or you roll it out? You know, some people roll this cinnamon roll when you eat it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. So, you ready? It depends on what I want. If I want that center by itself, I may just roll it out and cut the center out and just have that for later. You see what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, that was so
Y'all
good.
got it. I
Yeah.
can see pecans in those.
See? The texture, you
Oh, I
put texture
love
in it,
that.
yeah.
The dough is really nice and they call it, it's a name for it. This is so warm to the
It's
mouth.
supple.
Oh, yes. So I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah.
your supple. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I
it's still
love
stuff
that.
you do.
Yes. So what does food and family mean to you?
Man, food and family it's the best time of the day. It's the thing that you get to do. And I always talk about this being kind of hokey, but I like it. At the end of the day, you get to sit down, or during special times of the year, you get to sit down with your family and discuss life, update yourself on what's going on. It's your catch-up time because normally, specifically nowadays, and it's probably been like this since the 80s, everybody's go. And so you don't normally get a chance to sit down, breathe, relax, see how somebody's actually feeling. You're supposed to use this time to check out and see how the kids are doing in school, but they actually doing their homework. Listen to when they listen to the actual teacher. How is somebody doing with work? Are they stressed? Are they dealing with these other things? So that way you can go and be effective just as a family unit. It's that regroup time, and you also get to get sustenance, which makes it excellent.
That's
So,
what I love. I tell you, it's just so amazing how being around the table with your family just makes a difference in your life. You know,
Does.
it's that time. And I hear so many people say that they remember the times that we used to actually sit down and have dinner together.
Together.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I had one young lady that I knew, she was a chef, and what she said is a lot of times her mom worked a lot during the weekday, but she always made time on the weekend for them to have that time together.
Exactly. It's very important.
So what does family food mean to you, Jakisha?
So I love food. I eat, sleep, and breathe food.
Yeah.
I show my love through food.
Yeah.
If I like you, I'm going to cook something for you and bring it to you.
Yeah.
So it just means everything for me and my family. You know, they always come to my house and they're like, well, Alicia's cooking. All right, we're staying for a couple days.
She's not lying.
I love it.
Yeah.
Because she was on here with a spaghetti dish that her dad, and I thought it was good. And these cinnamon rolls go great with that.
That's what it, and I apologize, y'all. They're supposed to be there at the same time, but
Right.
the dough takes time. This is the 4-hour dough. So when I make these other ones, and it's that 24-hour dough, I know they're gonna be even better. But the
Both going to
time
be in
is
a coma.
yeah. Probably, and I know this is that time of year too during the holidays where you let yourself go a little bit in the sense of giving your favorite treats and whatnot. So I'm probably gonna have 2 of them, and then we'll share the rest. We'll try to be good.
But they were delicious. And this wraps up another episode at the table, Chef Jay. I hope you enjoyed this journey through flavors, memories as much as I do. If the taste buds are tingling and your heart is full, there's more to come. But before we say goodbye, don't forget to show some love. Hit that like button, share the joy with your friends and family, and of course, subscribe. Keep the conversation going on social media. Share your favorite childhood dishes and memories with us. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and at the Table Podcast. We love hearing from our listeners. Who knows, your story might just be featured in our upcoming episode. And of course, for those who want seconds, you can catch At the Table with Chef Jay on all major streaming platforms. Subscribe and never miss a delicious moment. Thank you for joining us at the table today. Until the next time, keep the flame alive. Savor those memories and may your kitchen always be filled with laughter and aroma of something wonderful.